Okay, friends, what we're going to do is we're going to add and subtract denominators with like denominators review. You guys did this last year in the 4th grade. 7 plus 11 is 18, and I don't add the denominators. The denominator stays the same, and that becomes 1 and 3/15. I can simplify 3/15, and it becomes 1 and 1/5. When I do 16 minus 13, that's 3 21sts, and I know that's 1/7. I'd like to look at your least common multiple and least common denominator. A common multiple of 2 or more numbers. Okay, so I can look and see what are common numbers between 3 and 4. Well, they have 1. They have 12. Let's see, what else do they have? They have 24. You see how that works, and so on. An equivalent fraction is a fraction that names the same amount of a part. For example, 10/15 is also 2. So let's see, 5 goes into 10 2 times, 5 goes into 15 3 times. But then I can make 15 times 3 is 45, and 10 times 3 is 30. So I have equivalent fractions of 2/3 or 30/45. Let's find the least common denominator. It's going to be the denominator that is common. And you're going to see this problem again. Looks like it's on the back as well. Karen had 3/4 a gallon of soda. Brian had 9/10 a gallon of soda. What's the lowest common denominator is known as the LCD. The lowest common denominator for both of those is 20. Max completed 5/6 of his math homework. He completed 3/8 of his science homework and 3/4 of his ELA homework. What is the lowest common denominator of these fractions? It's going to be 24. To find the least common denominator of the fractions listed below, I can look that 7/12, 2/3, and 11/18. My lowest common denominator for this is 36. All right, flip your paper over. Now, we just did Karen's, Max, and this one. So we know that the lowest common denominator for this one is 20. We know the lowest common denominator for this one is 24. And you know the lowest common denominator for this one is 36. So to find equivalent fractions, you're going to multiply by whatever it takes to get to 20. So I know my denominator is 24 times 5 is 20, but what I do to my denominator, I do to my numerator. 3 times 5 is 15. 9 times 2, 10 times 2, because 10 times 2 is 20, 9 times 2 is 18. Now, Max completed 5/6 of his math homework, he completed 3/8 of his science homework, and 3/4 of his ELA homework. What is the lowest common denominator of these fractions? And we've already decided that's 24. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do 6 times what is 24, and that's 4, and 5 times 4 is 20. And what we're doing is whatever we do to the denominator, we do to the numerator. Again, 24. And 8 times what is 24? That's 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. I'm going to put 24 here. 6 times 4 is 24. So 6 times 3 is going to be 18. When we look at the least common denominator of the fractions listed below, we've already determined that it's going to be 36. I'm going to put 36 here. And 12 times 3 is 36. What I do to the denominator, I do to the numerator. So 7 times 3 is 21. Again, 36. And I know that 3 times 12 is 36. And 2 times 12 is going to be 24. This is supposed to be 18, not 8. So I apologize for that. I have 36 here. And 18 times 2 is 36. And 11 times 2 is going to be 22. What I want you to do now is practice and figure out what are all the equivalent fractions to 8/12, and then we're going to find the lowest common denominator for these fractions. So, 8/12. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do a little math. Okay? Look at my least common denominator. It's going to be 18. And that is the end of your notes.